Hi, this is Eddie Hearn, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here in South London, Croydon Box Park. Glad to be joined by Mr. Spencer Fearon. Spencer, good afternoon, brother. How you doing?
I'm really good, though. Even better for seeing you. And before, like, you're doing great stuff on your channel, right? Just keep on. You know what I mean? Because I see. You even got the. You never used to have this before?
I've had it for nearly a year now, Spence.
Right, is that how long?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you not remember Sheeraz Williams over in London?
Yeah. Big up Lights Out, yeah? Also got to big up Fight Fan TV because they're in it, right? And like, me and my good friend, Danny, we had an altercation. But it wasn't nothing major, but we're big men. We ended things in hugs and kisses. But it's all good. Yeah.
Wherever you go, there's always trouble.
Yeah, apparently so, man. You know what I mean? Because the God in me upsets the devil inside them.
Fair enough. Try to stay out of trouble, Spencer. Last time I saw you was the Copper Box Arena when I did interview you with this microphone. So it's been quite a while since I've last spoken to you. Hamza Sheeraz versus Liam Williams, great performance. Might as well just kick you off with Hamza Sheeraz. Career best win in Saudi Arabia against Amber Williams?
Of course it was the career best win because he fought a guy that was an unbeaten fighter. You know what I mean? And you get two unbeaten guys that put it together and it was a big culmination of skill and everything else, and he came out successful. So we got to give him the massive props for that, man. Like, big up Hamza Sheeraz. I'm a big admirer of his skills. I'm not a fan, you know what I mean? But I'm a big admirer of his skills.
There's a lot of talk about a big card on September the 21st in Wembley, and a rumoured fight is Hamza Sheeraz versus Chris Eubank Jr. Is that the fight to make next for him?
If it is, he'll beat Chris Eubank Jr.
You reckon he beats Chris Eubank Jr. right now?
I reckon he beats Chris Eubank Jr. That's nothing against Chris Eubank Jr., but he'll beat him.
What makes you confident that Hamza Sheeraz beats Chris Eubank Jr.?
Because Hamza Sheeraz, he's young, he's fresh. You know what I mean? And let's be real, this is not the Smith brother. This is a young, fresh man who is very meticulous in his work, how he picks his punches, how he, you know what I mean? So yeah, I got to give him all the props in the world. So, and because of that, I think Hamza Sheeraz will come out victorious. I think Chris Eubank Jr. there's one fight for him that everyone's going crazy over. I think that's the fight that he should take. You know what I mean?
Let's talk a bit about Saturday night, Selhurst Park, Chris Billam-Smith, Richard Riakporhe, rematch for the WBO Cruiserweight title. What's different about the rematch, and what's Chris got to do to avenge that defeat against Richard in his backyard?
I think if you watch the first fight, it was a very competitive fight. It was a close fight as well. But Richard pulled through because of his punching power, and Richard actually hurt his hand in that fight. If Richard didn't hurt his hand, maybe he could have caused a knockout. But I think he broke his hand in that. He broke his right hand in that fight. So, I mean, there's something telling me that Chris Billam-Smith is going to come out victorious in this fight, you know? Simply because of the experience and the fact that at high quality level, Billam-Smith has performed against those guys, and he impressed us greatly when he beat Lawrence Okoli. He impressed me greatly in that. So I'd slightly favour him to come out. Everyone's saying, yeah, Richard Riakporhe easy, easy. I'm not too sure about that.
Richard made a comment in the Gloves Are Off saying that Chris Billam-Smith is deteriorating, that he's seen flaws in his last few performances. The performance against Masternak wasn't a great one, but the performance against Okoli, I thought he got spot on. So, do you agree with those comments Richard made?
He's absolutely right, because the thing about Chris Billam-Smith, he gets upset, he gets offended when you don't hit him, because he likes to eat shots. But the thing with him, he's very, very busy, and I think this has also got to do a lot to do with the corners. Now, this is either going to be Angel Fernandez breakout or his fallout. It's going to be one of the two. But yeah, and even though I'm South London as well, I want Richard to win, but I've just got a feeling that Chris Billam-Smith could come out victorious.
It's a good fight. We're looking forward to it. A lot to talk about. Obviously, we'll rewind back to a few weeks ago, Saudi Arabia, Tyson Fury's defeat to Oleksandr Usyk. A question that I've been asking many people, and it's a question I've been looking forward to been asking you. Right game plan? Would you have gone with that game plan if he was in Tyson Fury's corner? And do you think he was aggressive enough? And do you think he was on the front foot enough?
Obviously, it wasn't the right game plan because he lost. You know what I mean? Lights out. That's what happened. He lost. So it wasn't the right game plan. No, I wouldn't have Tyson Fury fight that game plan. If I was Tyson Fury, I'd have listened to one person in the corner, and that would have been Sugar Hill. There would be nobody else that we would be listening to. That's what we would have done. But it is what it is, and you know what I mean? We shall see what happens in the rematch in December.
What did you make of having John Fury and Andy Lee talking over Sugar Hill? Because there's a lot of people that have sort of looked at that and thought it was wrong. And John Fury also had a few things to say as well.
Bro, that should never happen. There should be one voice in the corner. You know what I mean? Especially at times like that, it should be one voice. And it was at that time when the panic wasn't just that corner, because what happened in the corner of the panic, it went out for the rest of the fight. And that's what happened.
Fair enough. There was a video release of Tyson Fury on social media during the start of this week. Tyson Fury is a big figure in the public, you know, he's a former world champion. But there's been a lot of backlash about that video, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that video. Do you think that, given the fact of what's happened with him in the past, that the British media and the public need to cut him a bit of slack and he's only a human being?
He's not Tyson Fury, a human being.
Of course he's a human being, right? And do you not think...
He's a human being that's made us over 100 M, right? In a fight of his life that he came second best to. He's allowed to let his hair down. What little hair that he has, he's allowed to do that. But people work it out like it's some big, massive thing. So what? He was drunk. You know what I mean? It's not like he was coked off of his head. It's not like they saw him come out of a room with 6 prostitutes on his arm. There's none of that kind of thing. The man went out and got drunk. So, wow, bloody we. So what? You know what I mean? So what? You know what I mean? In saying that, I wouldn't want my son to be going out and be drunk anywhere. You know what I mean? And obviously Tyson Fury will be sitting there and say, I want my kids to get hammered and walk out and be... But it is what it is. So what? People have a tendency to want to bask in someone else's demise. It's absolutely disgusting. But we should be supporting somebody at that time, especially someone like Tyson Fury, who kind of turned his life around. You know what I mean? Even though he does have spats of madness, but everybody does. And if you ever had a camera, if I turned it around, lights out, I had a camera on you all the time, yeah, we'd see some certain things that you know what I mean? If someone to turn the camera on me, like, you see some madness that I do. You don't want to be in my house. Trust me, my missus can't stand me. You know what I mean? Seriously, I'm always sleeping in the front room. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? My kids will wake up in the morning and say, look at this. Look at this, Dad. Look at this. Look at this. Right, so it is what it is.
Okay, well, moving forward, there's a lot of rumours about, as we mentioned, the September 21st card at Wembley. It's a very big card. Pretty sure it's going to happen because the genius that I like to call Turkey Al Sheikh makes things happen in this sport. AJ Dubois as the main event. The heavyweight division right now is cooking. It's on fire. It's a great main event. Two good...
Do you remember when we was at the presser for 5v5? And I was speaking openly as myself, Gary Stretch, former world title challenger, former British light middleweight champion. There's quite a few of us all around. Jay Spades, the rapper, was there as well. And I was saying, Turkey Al Sheikh is going to become the FIFA of boxing. And now look what's happened. Now, what a call that was. I knew this was going to happen. Like, I remember when people were saying, oh yeah, well, we're going to go back to the authenticity of boxing. We're not going to go back to 8 weights though. We're not. But what we are going to do, we're going to have the best fight the best, and that's what Turkey Al Sheikh's doing. You know what I mean? And I know his people listen to stuff, but he's going to do that. That's what he's going to do. He's going to be the governing body of professional boxing. And I said this from last year, and now it's coming to fruition.
And every time he said something's going to happen, it's happened. We look at the baddest of the baddest. Knockout chaos, undisputed fights. We hope you're going to get Bivol versus Better BF. But Dubois versus AJ at Wembley, big fight, good for the heavyweight division. What's your thoughts on it, Spencer?
Anthony Joshua will win that fight. Right? It's still not Daniel Dubois' time yet. Right?
The wins against Jarrell and Filip Hrgovic.
Who's Filip Hrgovic compared to Anthony Joshua? Compared to this Anthony Joshua? Do you read? Hrgovic is not noted as being a hellacious puncher. Do you think that Daniel Dubois could take those right hands if there was Daniel Dubois? If that was Anthony Joshua right now, he wouldn't be able to take them. I'm going to be real, he wouldn't. He'd get knocked out.
Nonetheless, have you seen improvements under Don Charles, and have you seen a better fighter?
Improvement. improvements under Don Charles should be commended, because I remember a few years ago when I was the only one defending him. Don Charles knows this as well. When everyone said that he's the worst trainer in Great Britain. Do you remember they did a poll and they've had him as the worst trainer in Great Britain, right? Do you know how hurtful that was? I remember Don phoned me saying this. Oh, don't worry, man, I got you. I remember this time I was that Sky. I was vehemently defending him, right? I remember there was a little spat between him and Joe Gallagher as well. Vehemently defending him. So I had to say to Joe Gallagher, you have to admit that Don Charles is a good trainer, right? But this is a game, because I remember certain managers and promoters saying that Joe Gallagher couldn't train. And look at his resume. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it doesn't matter what you do in boxing. Oh, he can't train. He can't. This is the game. This is the game. But I'm so happy for Don Charles and what he's doing, right? But I'm just going to keep this thing totally 100. At this present moment in time, it's Anthony Joshua's time.
Oscar De La Hoya released a video on his social media saying that Canelo made him and Jaime Munguia a shitload of money because he was too scared to fight David Benavidez. We know that there's a bit of beef between Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez. What's your thoughts on those comments? Because, I mean, I was speaking to quite a few people this week, and when we talk about Canelo, I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves, because people are saying he's ducking Benavidez, but...
Listen, Oscar De La Hoya is a bitch. Straight standard, right? But he's entitled to say what he's saying.
He's my title, right?
Right, he's a bitch, right? But I'm not, and that's not me. That's a very, very bitchy. Oh, look, because he's got his beef with Canelo, right? So he's not going to say nothing complimentary. Oh, he's ducking this guy, don't want to fight that guy. We have to look at resumes, right? Canelo's fought everybody, right? He's at the tail end of his career. Allow him to pick and choose and then walk off into the sunset if he wants to go and do that, right? I'm going to be real. I would love to see him fight Terence Crawford, and I think Terence Crawford would do a number on him. I think Canelo kind of knows that Terence Crawford would do a number on him, and that's why he's not going to fight him. And you're thinking, well, you know what? Benavidez is big, long, gangly, can punch, got very, very good punch output as well. He said, I really want to be mixing with this brother at this time of my career. You know what I mean? So you go into that big. The blueprint was made by Floyd Mayweather. Telling you your career, you pick who you want. Because the resume of the past work that you've done, the body of past work that you've done stacks up. But Oscar De La Hoya, I'm telling you again, he's a bitch. He's going to be real with you. You know what I mean? Seriously. But I give Oscar De La Hoya his props. Because when Oscar De La Hoya was coming through, he fought everybody. Everybody. Even at the tail end, he was great. He released a challenge and cut weight to fight Manny Pacquiao. So you got to give him his dues, but he's still a bitch. And it's because of... No, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. Leave it at that.
Make that my time. I don't know. Well, let's listen. Oscar De La Hoya might see it, might not see it, but...
I don't care. Right. But you say Oscar, what do you really...
I'm not saying that he might stick it on you if he does.
How can he stick what on me? What can he stick on me? Are you nuts? You know what I mean? This is not boxing. Are you nuts? You know what I mean? I'll call JP.
Okay. Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to add, Spence?
Nothing else, man. Just looking forward to the fights on Saturday. It's good that boxing is down in South London, so we're going to see what's going to happen. And it's good that, you know what I mean, there's a community feel about this fight. And I hope that people turn out and you guys go tune into Sky Sports, go and watch Chris Billam-Smith defend his WBO World Cruiserweight title against Richard the Night Train Riakporhe.
Thank you very much, Spencer Fearon, for your time as always.
Put your finger, lights out. Peace, 2 fingers, I'm out.